It is possible to have a peaceful revolution and to see lasting change in a society. This is a possible thing. But based on the current levels of consciousness of the people that are in power of your current society, a peaceful revolution is not possible from this level of consciousness. Hey, News for Idiots fam, how you all doing? How you all been? I figured I'd give you another news update because it's been a while, and wow, there's sure a lot of news in your country. Wow. I'm videotaping right now from Minneapolis, which is also like ground zero of all of the protests from the death of George Floyd that have now become protests basically into how screwed up the system is and all the systemic racism that exists and has existed in our country for years. So it looks like people have finally had enough of the bullshit and have decided we're gonna actually just burn down everything until you stop being complete losers and change the system into a system that works better for the people. So of course I'm obviously a huge fan of the people standing up for themselves and standing up for their power. Anyways, yes, I'm in Minneapolis right now. You can probably hear like a helicopter above me. So I want to mostly just talk a little bit about what I think is going on from my perspective here. While this definitely has started out as protests over the death of George Floyd, it seems like it has become actually a revolution that's going to change society as we know it. I think that this is growing into something much bigger than protests. I think that you're looking at this turning into a huge battle. And I mean, honestly, right now it's gonna get bad before it gets good, but in the end, you will see a better world. There were some protesters chanting last night, which I'm also gonna post this video separate on my channel, where they were saying, "We are unstoppable, another world is possible." And I was like, exactly. So I feel like we've been experiencing so much like systemic racism is like the biggest thing, especially that's what's being brought up right now. And then also the system in general is really not fair, and it's not set up in a way that's congruent to the health of the human race. This is a spiritual teaching that I learned that I'm going to share with you guys. They put the frogs into like lukewarm water, and if they slowly heat up the water, the frogs don't leave. They just like stay in there, I guess. I don't know who did this study. I'm kind of sad because I like frogs, but apparently if you put the frogs in the water and heat it up slowly, the frog doesn't leave. If you put the frog in boiling water, it jumps out. So what's been happening is that as a society, we've been put into the water like the frogs, and as the water slowly heated up, it's been like a very slow process to get to this boiling point where we're not like all like basically burning to death. I mean, everything's on fire, so little analogy there for you. But so at this point, like people can't handle it anymore, and they're at their breaking point. So this was like the last straw into what is going to be a giant revolution and probably change society as we know. I think it's going to take a while before it's not like, oh yeah, everything's great, like this is God's plan, like where everything's gonna be so good. Like it's gonna get like really bad, but then in the end it'll get really good and we'll have like a new society. But it's gonna be a while, and we're gonna have to go through some tough spaces to get there. So that's kind of what's going on. So here I am at ground zero. Wow, living in Minneapolis. You can hear the helicopters up there. Anyways, yeah, a lot of things are burned down. A lot of businesses are broken into. I'm like scared, but not really. I don't know. Like a part of me is like, people need to do this. They need to stand up for their power, but I'm also like, I don't want to die. So long story short, it is possible to have a peaceful revolution and to see lasting change in a society. This is a possible thing. But based on the current levels of consciousness of the people that are in power of your current society, a peaceful revolution is not possible from this level of consciousness. So that's why you're seeing so much of this violent protest, because that's what needs to happen for change, unfortunately, at this level of consciousness for the people. But hopefully in the future we can do some peaceful protests. Anyways, that's all that I have for you guys. I hope you're okay. Stay woke. Keep speaking up for yourself. Really just get out there and just show the people in charge that like their time's up and we're actually gonna create a better world now. Show them that. All right, okay, bye guys.